Hi, and welcome to NPN. I'm Whiskey Mike.
And I'm Keeper.
Tonight, we will be discussing an attempted bombing back in 2021 on the RNC and DNC buildings, backlash against an upcoming travel ban against U.S. travelers, 13 dead in a Mexican train derailment, military operations near the Venezuelan border, an attack at a Japanese manufacturing plant, a former rapper is running for prime minister in Nepal, China proposes new AI regulations, and a partnership between NASA and SpaceX to launch a probe.
A man charged with planning 2 pipe bombs in January 2021 reportedly carried out the act to protest the 2020 election results. According to a Justice Department memo, prosecutors are arguing that J. Cole Jr. must remain in custody pending trial, citing him as a significant danger to the community, while Mr. Cole Jr. denied that his actions were connected to the events of January 6th. He later admitted to investigators that he placed the explosive devices. He stated his actions were fueled by disdain and exhaustion regarding both political parties, specifically citing his belief that the election had been stolen. During an interview, Cole explained his thought process. I feel that, something as important as voting in the federal election is being tampered with, is being relegated, null and void, then someone needs to speak up, right? Someone up top, just to at the very least calm things down. After hours of questioning, Cole acknowledged placing the pipe bombs in shoeboxes outside the Republican National Committee and Democratic National Committee headquarters. The devices were equipped with 60-minute timers. Federal prosecutors emphasized that the public was spared by only a stroke of pure luck. They argued that the failure on the devices to detonate was not due to a lack of effort or intent on the part of the defendant, but rather a technical fluke. This evidence forms the basis of their argument that Cole represents a threat to public safety and should not be released before his court proceedings.
Under the latest expansion of President Trump's travel policy effective January 1st, 2026, a total of 39 countries now face full or partial entry restrictions into the United States. This executive action has drawn immediate condemnation from diplomats worldwide, sparking retaliatory measures from several targeted nations. In Africa, Mali, Nigeria, Niger, South Sudan, and Tanzania. In the Americas, Caribbean nations such as Antigua and Barbuda and Dominica. And in Asia, Syria and individuals carrying travel documents from the Palestinian Authority. In a direct response to being added to the list, the government of Niger has announced a total suspension of visas for America's citizens. Citing the diplomatic principle of reciprocity, Nigerian authorities have effectively closed their borders to the U.S. nationals until their status on the American travel list is revised. A government representative for Niger stated, Niger is completely and permanently prohibiting the issuance of visas to all U.S. citizens and indefinitely banning entry to its territory for nationals of the United States. Beyond Niger, other nations have expressed significant concern, with several African and Caribbean diplomats warning that these restrictions will damage long-standing security partnerships and economic ties. While some countries face total bans, others are navigating partial restrictions that primarily limit student and business B1, B2 visa categories.
The incident involves the Interoceanic Train, a high-profile rail project launched in 2023 to connect the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean. According to the Mexican Navy, approximately 250 passengers were on board at the time of the accident. As of December 29, 2025, reports indicate that over one-fourth of the passengers sustained injuries. The rescue operation was extensive, involving 360 personnel deployed by the Mexican Navy, 20 specialized vehicles and 4 ground ambulances. Emergency crews were filmed extracting passengers from the wreckage, with many being evacuated on stretchers. Attorney General Ernestina Godaramos confirmed that a formal investigation had been launched to determine the cause of the derailment. As of December 29, 2025, reports indicate that over one-fourth of the passengers sustained injuries. The rescue operation was extensive, involving 360 personnel deployed by the Mexican Navy, 20 specialized vehicles, and 4 ground ambulances. Emergency crews were filmed extracting passengers from the wreckage, with many being evacuated on stretchers. Attorney General Ernestina Goda-Romas confirmed that a formal investigation has been launched to determine the cause of the derailment. The rail line is a cornerstone of Mexico's interoceanic corridor, a strategic trade pathway designed to compete with the Panama Canal. The government has invested heavily in this region, expanding ports and industrial infrastructure to facilitate faster trade between the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. Both the Mexican Navy and the governor, Oaxaca, have issued official condolences to the families of the victims. Government representatives emphasized their commitment to supporting the survivors and ensuring a transparent investigation into the safety protocols of the newly developed rail network.
The city of Cocota has emerged as a primary front in the Latin American drug war, serving as a critical transit point for narcotics following between Colombia and Venezuela. Following reports from the U.S. executive branch labeling Colombia as the world's leading producer of cocaine, military pressure in the region has intensified to disrupt exports destined for the United States. During a recent high-stakes raid near the Venezuelan border, the Colombian Mechanized Cavalry Regiment targeted a suspected warehouse for drugs and weaponry. While this specific mission found the destination abandoned, the operation highlighted the extreme volatility of the region. Soldiers identified numerous ambush points along the route, designed by cartels to trap military convoys. Despite the lack of arrests in this instance, officials emphasized the broader success of their campaign. Over 6 tons of cocaine have been intercepted in this sector this year alone. While products are often moved quickly, raids frequently uncover massive quantities of chemical precursors and manufacturing materials. A Colombian colonel reported that the border is the site of frequent, violent shootouts as smugglers attempt to force their way through military cordons. Controlling the flow of narcotics remains a logistical nightmare. The commanding colonel noted that in his sector alone, there are at least 50 known illegal crossings, often referred to as trochas. These unmanned paths allow drug runners to bypass official checkpoints, facilitating the steady movement of illicit goods into Venezuela and towards international markets.
A 38-year-old man was arrested in Japan this past weekend following a violent attempted murder spree at a manufacturing plant. The incident has sent shockwaves through a nation typically known for its low rates of violent crime. Local authorities report that 15 individuals were injured during the assault. While no fatalities have been confirmed, the fire department stated that 5 victims remain in serious condition. Specific details regarding the nature of their injuries have not yet been released. According to investigators, the suspect was meticulously prepared. He utilized a gas mask, presumed to protect himself from the chemical agents used during the assault. He also used a survival knife to attack employees within the factory. Police are currently interrogating the suspect. A survival knife used to attack employees within the factory. Police are currently interrogating the suspect to determine a motive and to identify the specific chemical substances deployed during the incident. While mass casualty events remain statistically infrequent in Japan, experts note that high-profile stabbings and lone wolf attacks have been a concern uptick in recent years. This event has reignited domestic debates regarding workplace security and mental health resources.
In a significant shift for Nepal's political landscape, Kathmandu Mayor Balindra Shah has officially announced his candidacy for prime minister in the upcoming general election scheduled for March 5th, 2026. Shah, a former structural engineer and popular rapper, has formed a strategic alliance with the Rashtriya Swatanttra Party, RSP, also known as the National Independent Party. Balindra Shah's rise to national prominence follows a wave of massive youth-led protests spearheaded by Gen Z that rocked Nepal in September 2025. These demonstrations against corruption and government inefficiency led to the fall of the KP Sharma Ali administration and the appointment of an interim government. Analysts believe Shah has a figurehead for a younger generation that feel alienated by the country's traditional political establishment. Under a 7-point agreement, Shah will serve as the RSP's parliamentary leadership prime minister face. RSP Rabi Lame Chavna will remain the party's chairperson. The alliance aims to unite alternative forces against the long-dominant traditional parties. The upcoming vote poses a direct challenge to the entrenched power of the Communist Party of Nepal and the centrist Nepali Congress Party. Despite the momentum behind Shah, traditional leaders remain skeptical of the newcomer's staying power. A spokesperson for the Nepali Congress Party dismissed the threat of the new alliance, stating, "I don't think there will be any upheaval due to their alliance. People will still choose the old and experienced parties. With the election set for early March, Balindra Shah is expected to resign from his post as mayor of Kathmandu by mid-January to formally file for his candidacy." This election is widely viewed as a referendum on whether Nepal is ready to transition from its legacy political leadership to a new era of youth-driven governance.
China has released a comprehensive set of draft rules aimed at regulating artificial intelligence systems that exhibit human-like behaviors or emotional intelligence. These guidelines represent a significant step in the nation's ongoing effort to establish a rigorous governance framework for rapidly evolving AI technologies. The draft, released by Chinese regulators, focused on several critical areas of human-AI interaction. AI services will be required to monitor user behavior and issue formal warnings to individuals demonstrating signs of addiction or excessive reliance on the platform. The rules establish strict boundaries regarding the dissemination of information. AI models must be programmed to prevent the generation of rumors, violent content, or obscenity. To safeguard younger users, the regulations mandate stricter access controls. This includes limiting total time spent on AI services, regardless of whether a user's age has been officially verified. Acknowledging the potential for error, the draft requires companies to implement a process for users to appeal service restrictions in the event of false positives or accidental lockouts. These proposed rules follow a series of legislative moves by Beijing to assert control over the AI sector. By targeting systems that imitate human behavior, China aims to mitigate the psychological and social impacts of AI, ensuring that these tools align with state standards for digital safety and social stability.
NASA has officially selected SpaceX to launch the Pandora smallsat, an innovative astrophysics mission designed to study the atmospheres of distant worlds. Currently scheduled for launch on January 5th, 2026, aboard a Falcon 9 rocket, the probe will operate in a sun-synchronous low Earth orbit. The primary goal of the Pandora mission is to solve a major hurdle in exoplanet research: stellar contamination. As planets pass in front of their host stars, variations in the star's own light, such as star spots or flares, can mask or mimic the chemical signals of a planet's atmosphere. Pandora will address this by simulating monitoring using an 18-inch all-aluminum telescope to capture visible and near-infrared light at the same time. long baseline observations staring at least 20 specific exoplanet systems for 24 hours at a time, repeating these observations 10 times per target. While Pandora is not designed to detect alien life directly, it is a critical stepping stone in the search for habitability. By disentangling the signals between a star and its planet, scientists can more accurately identify the presence of water vapor, hazards, and clouds. This data will serve as a little brother to the James Webb Space Telescope, helping to refine its findings and laying the groundwork for the future Habitable Worlds Observatory. Citing the diplomatic principle of reciprocity. I know the word.
A high-profile rain project launched in 2023.
You said
rain.
You said rain. You said
I
rain
noted after
project.
I said it.
You were like, I'm gonna keep going and see if he says anything.
No,
baby.
I wasn't. I was getting ready to
baby.
stop. I was like,
No.
Rain and
that
rail?
ain't going.
Go up top again.
Your husband doesn't know how to read.
Oh, this time.
No.
Yeah, there's too much.
No,
Pause.
I was like, I'm gonna let you get away with one.
Mexican.
Then you screwed up another one. And I was like,
no.
I guess I'm gonna let him get away with that one. He did. I was going to let that
I
one
didn't even hear
slide.
that one.
I was gonna let that one slide. I was like, can we get away with that one?
All right, go up then.
He's like eternal, and I was like,
I know I did the name fine. But go up again. I'm gonna have to redo the name.
Up to attorney.
Yep. Now they get substantially shorter. I don't know why they just do.
I felt like I was holding up for dear life for that one.
I pushed through that one hard.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You did good, son.
Just brute force attacking this one.
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna charge through these as hard as I can.
Props on those names. That was the hardest one.
Oh man, we made it.
Finn.
Finn.
I was trying to keep a straight face. Woo!